Chinese tech giant Huawei is rapidly ascending to become a leading brand for global telecommunication strategies and innovations, transforming its competitive landscape at a rate unmatched by any company in its class. But not everyone sees Huawei as a friendly competitor. With America now positioned as China's economic rival, many of our founding market principles are being tested. Don't solve problems. Instead, pursue opportunities. This is advisement from the late patriarch of management theory, Peter Drucker. Most credited for his profound contribution to much of the philosophical and practical foundations of the modern business corporation, he's still celebrated to this day as the man who invented management. Drucker believed that focusing on one's problems tend to feed your failures, starve your strengths, and sabotage reigning or potential leaders into costly mediocrity. This is something Huawei's thriving executive leadership seems to understand. Huawei's founder, in just 3 years, turned the equivalent of $3,000 startup capital into an empire of $105 billion in annual revenues. It now ranks as China's largest private company. In 2019, Huawei brilliantly overtook Apple as the second largest smartphone seller in the world. It sold 58 million smartphone units in the quarter and achieved 17.2% of total market share. This is perhaps due to their ability to excite their customers with an affordable, premium, and innovative product line, not $1,000 display stands. Huawei is also projected to be the world's leading developer of 5G, or fifth-generation cellular network technology. Europe is one of its most valued clients. Just recently, the state of Monaco announced its rollout of a new Huawei-built 5G network. This makes it the first European country entirely covered by 5G, giving the territory a valuable advantage in its ability to research smart city applications. Additionally, just last week, Huawei released the world's first 5G smartphone for commercial use in Shenzhen, the Mate 20X 5G. Europe is again set to get dibs on the first international models, hitting stores in the UK very soon. And perhaps most impressively, heading the financial division of this multinational tech unicorn is Huawei co-founder Sabrina Meng. Meng employs an arsenal of Western-educated executives from such schools as Harvard, Cambridge, Wharton, and Yale. In addition to finding value in America's higher education dominance, Huawei also purchases around $15 billion in U.S. manufactured technologies. At least they used to, up until last week when the Trump administration once again flip-flopped on its trade policy.
We're not going to do business with Huawei. We're not doing business with them. And I really made the decision. It's much simpler not to do any business with Huawei, so we're not doing business with Huawei.
This is one of several in a long list of conflicts the company has faced with the U.S. government, escalating to the point of its CFO being arrested.
Canadian authorities in Vancouver have arrested Huawei's CFO, Meng Wanzhou, and this was done on the behest of the U.S. government.
Meng is accused by the U.S. of conspiracy to defraud financial institutions. She allegedly violated U.S. sanctions on Iran by selling telecom equipment to the blacklisted regime. This, along with blowback from trade war tensions, has led politicians and their tenured media pundits to incite a propaganda war with Huawei. Headline after headline has highlighted the Trump administration's distrust with Huawei and more broadly Chinese telecom companies overall. News outlets have sensationalized the narrative. They warn Americans endlessly of Huawei's sinister ties to the Chinese government. But as the US government has already proven on numerous occasions, it too is guilty of privacy violations and weaponizing technology against consumers. Economist and author of Life After Google, George Gilder, argues that seeing Huawei as a threat rather than an opportunity, as Peter Drucker emphasized, would be a monumental failure on the part of any world superpower. Gilder served as an early pioneer of supply-side economics, even an architect of the Reagan Revolution, a macroeconomic theory which suggests economic growth can be most effectively created by lowering taxes and decreasing regulation. Ren Zhengfei, Huawei's founder, is also a supply-sider, believing that benefits from increased investment can offset the negative effects of government taxes, tariffs, or bans. The founder's optimism was further highlighted during an interview with Financial Times, assessing Huawei's competitive standing in the race to 5G.
我认为国外应该说大多数都会采用我们的5G，绝大多数的客户只要是好客户，对吧？因为只有我们提供的东西是最先进、最有实际性价值的，对吧？所以客户经历了20多年跟我们的这种合作，说客户不会就是随意听进几句话，就放弃对我们的选择。
Expansion of relationships appears to be the goal of Huawei's executive leadership, and judging by their success, is proving to be a wise path to pursue. In his host article for AIER, Gilder wrote, "Huawei is not a problem for American technology. It is a huge customer and huge opportunity. It offers a chance to revitalize the U.S. economy and internet security and infrastructure with a new competitive challenge and resource of innovation." And Gilder is correct. The huffing and puffing over China's newfound competitive advantage is not beneficial to the health of communication and security infrastructures. For legacy corporations eager to cash in on the political tenure Washington promises them, a war with Huawei is valuable. It allows them to supplement competitive innovation for patent enforcement. But for us, the consumers, as well as the future viability of our country's infrastructure, China should serve as a vital lesson. The inner workings of Chinese capitalism, as Gilder describes, is not perfect. They can't be bullied to kneel before the traditions of Western powers. Their economic relevance on the world stage now sits at the same table as our own, and their focus is invested in seizing opportunities as they present themselves, regardless of the legal or moral sensibilities of the West. Gilder is right that we have to be honest in admitting that we cannot force China into submission as the Trump administration suggests. What we can and should do is find the opportunities that China can bring us, not on our knees, but in strength and dedication to national and global progress. Perhaps then we can continue forward into the next generation of medical, engineering, and consumer technologies that will change the lives of hundreds of millions. Otherwise, we risk forfeiting everything.